Okay, here we go. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session with the arraignment docket. We have 2 cases. First case is cause number 330986. Second case is cause number 330988. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Bailey Nicholas Perry. Mr. Perry, would you please come forward? Mr. Perry, please stand on the X. Your full name is Bailey Nicholas Perry? Mr. Perry, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Perry, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Perry, you may put your hand out. How you doing, Mr. Perry?
Been better.
You been better? Okay. Mr. Perry, I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Are these your initials on the line that state that you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney? I also have before me the affidavit of indigence. Do you recognize this document? And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Perry, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Mr. Perry, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Perry, I've read your documents, and based on your responses in the affidavit of indigence, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska will be given information from our court coordinator to contact you, and you will also be given information from our coordinator to contact Mr. Matuska. You're going to stand on the X in front of our coordinator, and once she gives you your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Stand on the 4X. Olivia Ducote. This is cause number 331726. Case is styled State of Texas versus Olivia Nicole Ducote. Mr. Cody, is that your full name? Yes, Mr. Cody, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cody, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Cody, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Cody? You doing good? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Cody, I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Cody, do you recognize this document? Mr. Cody, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? And are these your initials on the line that states I would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney? Also, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Cody, do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Cody, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is that your signature? Yes. Now, Mr. Cody, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Yes. And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Ducote, I've read your answers in these documents, and based on your responses in the affidavit of indigence, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Laurie Perazzo. You will be given information by our court coordinator on how to contact Ms. Perazzo. Ms. Perazzo will be given information on how to contact you. Mr. Cody, would you please have a seat in that the middle chair against the wall? 2 chairs away from Mr. Bailey? Yes, that's right. And Mr. Cody, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Ashley Garrett is in the Michael Nisha Gray. Mikonisha Gray. Okay, Miss Gray, is your full name? Let's see, Mikonisha Gray. Ms. Gray, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Gray, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Gray, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Gray? You doing fine? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Gray, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Ms. Gray, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Or are these your initials on the line stating that you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney? I have another document here that's titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Gray, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature? Now, Ms. Gray, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Ms. Gray, I read your answers in these documents, and based on your answers in the affidavit of indigent, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Ms. Gray, our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Reynolds, and Mr. Reynolds will be given information on how to contact you. Ms. Gray, you're gonna have a seat in that middle chair over there against the wall, and right here, this wall. And then once our coordinator is ready for you, you're gonna go up to the one that she's gonna reset your case. Once you get your case reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes.
She isn't back.
Oh.
Okay. Court will be in recess. Court is back in session, is a Raymond docket. I have before me this is cause number 332-570. Case is style of State of Texas versus Shantaria Janae Mitchell. Ms. Mitchell, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Mitchell?
Yeah.
That's good. Now, Ms. Mitchell, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Defendant's Rights Without an Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? And are these your initials on the line that states I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself? Now, Ms. Mitchell, I also have before me a document that is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Ms. Mitchell, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Ms. Mitchell, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just mentioned to you, did you read the documents? And did you understand what you read?
Which brings me to my point, is I confer with Ms. Mitchell. She seems hesitant at a minimum and confused as well, and she's asking me a number of questions that's probably better suited for
You
me
know,
asking
she
her-
may not-
her all her-
She kind of
her-
came in on the tail end of the arraignment. So let me do this here. Ms. Mitchell, this first, get us, hand that back to her. you can hand vote. What I need to do, I want to make sure her choice is clear. She said she didn't understand.
Judge, well, and I know that even if she wants to proceed with an attorney, without an attorney, I just don't feel comfortable based on my communication,
Okay, well,
negotiating directly.
okay, let me, Miss, let me go over this document with you. Okay, now, Miss Mitchell, the document that you have before you is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. And it states, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option? Option number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option? Let me do this here. And option number three, you may represent yourself. Now, and it reads, if you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Now, Ms. Mitchell, Ms. Mitchell, do you understand? Okay, now, if your choice is, I want to read, at the bottom of this document, it says defendant's choice, mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, you put your initials on the first line to the left. You've already hired an attorney, then you'll put your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you want to apply for a court-appointed counsel, or that means a court-appointed attorney, then you'll put your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed a court-appointed attorney, you'll place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is I want to waive my right to an attorney, which means I want to give up my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll put your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you have finished initialing one of the 5 lines, then you will sign your signature on the line that is titled defendant, and you will date it today's date, July 26th of 2022. Do you understand? Okay, you can go ahead on and make your choice. Okay. Yes, so she's hired, she'll apply for court appointment, yeah. Just have a seat, fill that form out. If you need any assistance, our court administrator will be happy to help you. Does she have one of those, you can sit at the table? Yeah,